Hey, what's up guys, it's me your boy Urban Cast Vinesh back here with another brand new video and I hope you guys are having a great day. So we are here for the Las Vegas Grand Prix qualifying review, and without any further ado, let's get right into the video guys. Well, here we are after the qualifying and we are just a day away from the race. But it's sad to say that I'm still a bit underwhelmed about the entire weekend. But that aside, I don't want to get in the bad books of Toto Wolff, just like how he doesn't want to admit how bad it was organized and how underwhelming it feels for it being a debut race. He seems to be extremely defensive about the whole weekend, as if it seems like he was the one who pitched the Grand Prix in the first place.
That is not a black eye, this is nothing. We are Thursday night, we have a free practice session 1 that we're not doing. They're going to seal the drain covers and nobody's going to talk about that tomorrow morning anymore. So let's... Did you ask the question? It's completely ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. FP1, how can you even dare trying to talk bad about an event that sets the new standards to everything? And then you're speaking about a drain cover that's been undone, that has happened before. That's nothing. It's FP1. Give credit to the people that have set up this Grand Prix, that have made this sport much bigger than it ever was. Have you ever spoken good about someone and written a good word? You should, about all these people that have been out here. Liberty has done an awesome job, and just because in FP1 a drain cover has become undone, we shouldn't be moaning.
Well, it seems like he's aiming for a higher position in Liberty Media in the future. Yep, let's not get into that and let's head right into the weekend, guys. Well, the weekend started off with barely there being any fans in the grandstands, and the first session of the weekend came to a quick end, and it didn't even last a whole 10 minutes due to the drain manhole cover coming off due to the suction produced by these F1 cars, because you know they are run on ground effects. So yep, they weren't sealed properly. It's an issue that exists in Formula 1 whenever we visit a street track. It happened in Baku as well in 2019, I think. But the thing is, it has happened before. It's Formula 1's responsibility to make sure it doesn't happen again. Then what are the track inspectors are doing? That's my question. It's a safety hazard because the red flag in FP1 was caused due to Carlos Sainz running over it with his car, damaging the underfloor and the engine components, which cost Ferrari upwards of $1 million to fix during this cost cap era. And Carlos Sainz has also picked up a 10-place grid penalty as he had to take a new power unit components that went out of his allocation for the year. For not a mistake of his own, he has to take up a penalty, and he also said that he couldn't feel his legs for a couple of seconds after the whole impact. So yes, it is a safety hazard, and I hope at least from here on F1 takes more care and attention into, organizing these kind of events. As soon as the red flags were waved, the session was announced that it wouldn't be resumed. The securities have to kick out the fans due to the safety reasons. By fans, I mean the 5 to 6 groups of fans that actually attended the session. And it seemed like they are not going to give a refund as well, which is borderline insane. I hope they get a refund or the organizers arrange something special for them to make up for it, as the ticket prices for the Las Vegas Grand Prix is nothing cheap, which also is a reason for the poor crowd pulling. And so far, I'm enjoying Max's roast session on the whole Grand Prix in both his sarcastic and straightforward manner. So yes, heading into the FP2 session, well, it went fairly smooth, and the FP3 session also came to an end under a red flag condition as Albon lost his tire on track. Overall, the read that I got from the free practice sessions was that Ferrari's were stupidly quick, nearly a tenth or two quicker than rest of the field, which is something that we haven't said about them in a while. But I think the colder conditions and their low drag package is playing into their favor. So now moving on to the qualifying session. Well, the Q1 knockouts were pretty surprising, with Norris in P16, Ocon in P17, Zhou in P18, Piastri in P19 and Tsunoda in P20. The real surprise was to see both the McLarens getting knocked out in Q1. I really hope I didn't jinx them, as I was expecting them to bring home a win from this race. But getting knocked out in Q1 was the biggest bad surprise. As far as Ocon is concerned, I think Max ruined his final lap in frustration, because Ocon overtook Max near the start-finish strip as they both started their final push lap. Everyone saw Max lunging at Ocon at turn 1, but the TV direction as usual failed to show what led to that moment. Other than that, it was rather a normal Q1 session, nothing special. And let's move on to Q2. So the Q2 knockouts were Hamilton in P11, Perez in P12, Hülkenberg in P13, Stroll in P14 and Ricciardo in P15. The real surprise was to see both Hamilton and Perez getting knocked out. Lewis came on the radio after his final push lap saying that he couldn't find any improvement. So that was that. But Checo's run plan is what I want to talk about, because that was an awful run plan. I mean, I don't know who pitched and finalized this run plan, because Checo was done with his run plan in Q2 with nearly 2 minutes left in the session, and it being on a track that was constantly ramping up. You need to be out on the track near the end of the session to pump in the best lap. The fact that I, as a fan, know this from watching the race and the team failing to recognize it was baffling. I feel like even this weekend he had the pace to be in the top 6. Even if Checo had suggested this run plan, which it doesn't appear to be so, I think it's the team's responsibility to change the plan as they have more data in hand. I feel like the team would have been extra careful about something like this if it were for Max. It seems like the car has the pace to finish in P4 at least, so I expect Perez to make the most out of the package in the race. Other than that, the other knockouts seem to be in order. So now moving on to Q3. So the top 10 qualifying grid order would be Leclerc on pole, followed by Sainz in P2, Verstappen in P3, Russell in P4, Gasly in P5, Albon in P6, Sargent in P7, Bottas in P8, Magnussen in P9 and Alonso in P10, rounding off the top 10. As I said before, the Ferrari seems to be dominant around this track. I feel like Ferrari could bring home another win, considering they can switch on the tires sooner than the Red Bulls and the Mercedes. Specifically, Leclerc's pace this weekend so far has been unreal. He did what Max has been doing to the entire field this season, which is whenever someone puts a fast lap, he had a lap in hand to counter that to take back the top spot. I just pray and hope that he can have a smooth race to convert this pole to a win. Max, on the other hand, finished the qualifying in P3 and will be starting on the front row alongside Charles due to Sainz's 10th place grid penalty. If Max switches on the tires quicker and gets a better launch tomorrow, then we might have a good battle on our hands between Max and Charles for the race win. Russell seems to have dialed his car better in terms of setup to put the same car in P4. Followed by Gasly, who again had an amazing qualifying session to put the Alpine in P5. The biggest good surprise for me would be to see both the Williams make it into the top 10 on merit, with Albon in P6 and Sargent in P7. Both the drivers did an amazing job, but specifically Sargent, who has had a pretty rough season so far, has finally seemed to have got into a groove. It was good to see that Sargent was just 2/10 off of his teammate all the way through the qualifying session. Even if Perez and Hamilton overtook them, I feel like the Williams might be able to score some solid points out of this race. Magnussen doing a stellar job for Haas to put them in P9, out-qualifying his teammate. I hope he can have a good race from here. The real question is where he will finish the race, as you know, the tire degradation issue of the Haas. Fernando qualifies P10 with the highs from the last race to nick the last spot on the podium to now qualify P10. I mean, this is a track that shouldn't suit the Aston, as they have a car that is naturally pretty draggy on the straights, and most of this track is all straights. So this is given, and let's see what he can do from here. So due to penalties, Sainz will be starting the race P12 with everyone behind him till P12 will move up a place from where they qualified, and Stroll will also start from P19 after qualifying P14 due to failing to abide by the double waved yellows. So everyone behind Stroll till P19 will move up a place as well. So yes guys, that would be my review on the free practice and the qualifying session for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and let me know down in the comments on your thoughts on the sessions and the events that took place in the session. I'm curious to know what's your take on it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell icon and turn on all notifications so you get notified whenever I upload a brand new video. It's me, your boy Autobahn Cast, aka Vinesh, and I'm out. Love you guys, stay safe, peace.